day here in Kansas City, but the rain has held off, and we're ready to play ball. Game 2 between the Brewers and the Royals. And the good news for the Brewers, they are rolling to a 7-game winning streak, their best since 2015. And look at how they did it last night. Well, Travis Shaw, he came up with a big 3-run home run to give them the early lead. Lorenzo Cain leaned back on him, homered against his former team. A big ovation for him back against the Royals, and Jeremy Jeffress closed it out. The Brewers extend their winning streak to 7 straight for the first time since 2015. Good evening, everyone. Sophia Minert here at Kauffman Stadium, and this Brewers season has been full of great moments. A winning streak now at 7 games, but it's also been full of injuries, and they took another hit last night, this time at first base with Eric Thames. Last night, there was the play against Mike Moustakas late in the game in the 8th inning. You see, here's the play. Thames made a terrific play to dive and make the out, flipping it to Dan Jennings. But on that play, he would roll over, and he suffered a torn UCL ligament in his left thumb. So the diagnosis came this morning that Thames will go on the 10-day disabled list with that left ligament injury in his thumb, and he will likely miss 6 to 8 weeks and require surgery. So here's the move. Thames placed on the disabled list. They have recalled reliever Brandon Woodruff. He is here with the team and available tonight out of the bullpen from AAA Colorado Springs. So we hear from Thames on his reaction to the play, going on the disabled list at this point in the season, and also manager Craig Counsell on the options at first base here moving forward.
I felt like it stretched a lot, like I didn't feel a pop. But once I caught like strike 3 that was dropping through the first, and I caught it, and it was just like, oh, okay, this doesn't feel good at all. So I knew something was up, whether it was a sprain or something like that. And then, the worst news, this morning about it being torn. So that sucked, but it's all right.
It's certainly bad news. It's Eric's an important part of what we've been doing, and he's a big left-handed bat that it's really not replaceable. It is a position that we have multiple players at. I think it was a position of excess, certainly, that we were trying to find at bats for guys. So, with Jesus and with Bronny, and I think G-Man Choi could be in the conversation at some point. There is candidates to fill in there. So, and I feel like pretty good candidates.
Eric Thames was leading the club with 7 home runs. They will certainly miss his left-handed bat, but Jesus Aguilar will now take over as the primary first baseman. He's had limited playing time, primarily coming off the bench, but he's had some clutch at-bats, as we've seen early this season. His .429 average, the highest with a minimum of 30 at-bats. So Aguilar looks to continue his success, taking over at first base for Thames tonight. How do the Brewers extend this winning streak to 8 games? We go up to our game announcers, Matt LePay and Bill Schroeder, how the crew can keep it rolling here tonight at Kauffman Stadium.
Voted best, rated best. Hupy and Abraham, tell them you mean business. By Miller Lite, great taste and only 96 calories. And by Menards, save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. It was quite the return to Kansas City for Lorenzo Cain last night, reaching base 4 times, a couple of walks, couple of hits, including a solo home run, in helping the Brew Crew to yet another victory against Lorenzo's former team, the Kansas City Royals. Good evening. Alongside Bill Schroeder, I'm Matt LePay, and Rock, the Brewers continue to roll along the first place in the NL Central. Milwaukee Brewers, 7 straight now, and they're doing just about everything at a very high level right now.
Yeah, they were scoring some runs, but I think, offense is going to come and go. I think throughout the season, the Brewers are going to have no problem getting runs on the board. Bullpen has been good from the beginning of the season, but for me, the 2 things that have really improved over the last 7 days have been the starting pitching and the defense. Starters really starting to turn it on, eat up innings, keeping the opposition off the board, allowing the Brewers to get runs, and the defense, outstanding work defensively. They started out very slow in the field this season, but in this 7-game winning streak, they've committed only 3 errors, and really none of them have cost them any runs. So, pitching and defense, they're going to win for you down the road.
All right, Yolis Chassin will try to keep that trend going. A very good starting pitching for the Brew Crew. His last outing was a very good one, his first win in a Milwaukee uniform. Looking for win number 2 tonight for him, and 8 straight for the Brewers. First pitch coming up, Brewers and Royals from Kansas City.
I was throwing more first try, and I use my slider when I have to. So I guess that was the key.
And it worked out well for Yolis Chassin. He battled to get through the first inning last Friday against the Marlins. Needed 27 pitches rather, to get through the first inning, but settled in. 6 frames of 4-hit shutout ball. Jason Hamill, his first 8 decisions in his career against the Brewers were winning ones, but a couple of years ago with the Cubs, he was 2 up and 2 down. So the Brewers were able to turn around their tough fortunes against Hamill a couple of years ago. Brewers looking to make it 8 in a row. They last accomplished that back in 2015. They'll try to match it tonight as they close out this short interleague series with the Kansas City Royals. Coming up next. sends one deep into center field. That is hit hard. Christian Yelich. Luis Chassin, the strikeout of Castro. Strike 3 call. Taylor Williams, a strikeout. Lorenzo King, and it's out of here. Hit in the air, and the Brewers now have a 7-game winning streak. They are rolling along. Lorenzo Cain with a nice return to Kansas City. Big news conference before the game, and a chance to hurt his old team, and he did just that. A solo homer, reaching base 4 times on the night, as he continues to be very effective at the top of the batting order for the Milwaukee Brewers. Well, it rained most of the day. It has backed off at just the right time. We'll be in the low 50s, and knock on wood, we will stay dry throughout the course of this game as these two ball clubs wrap up this brief series before moving on to Chicago. Craig Counsell's team in first in the Central, a game ahead of the St. Louis Cardinals, a 15-9 mark with this 7-game winning streak coming into tonight's quick series finale. Let's check out the Brewers batting order presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Cain again at the top with Christian Yelich right behind him. Ryan Braun will DH again. Travis Shaw hit a 3-run homer last night. He hits cleanup. Domingo Santana, Jesus Aguilar, Manny Pena, Jonathan Villar, and Orlando Arcia. He returns to the lineup tonight, and that's the look that will face the veteran right-hander for Kansas City, Jason Hamill.
Yeah, Jason Hamill has faced the Brewers quite a bit, mostly with the Chicago Cubs. This is his 16th start against Milwaukee. He's got a 10-2 record and a .313 earned run average. Pitched very well his last time out, and no decision. He actually pitched 9 innings against the Tigers in Detroit in a Kansas City 3-2 loss in extra innings.
He has been hurt by run support or lack thereof, but he is showing that he still has it.
I want to check out the Kansas City defense as penciled in by Ned Yost here today. Got Gordon J. Soler in the outfield, Moustakas Escobar, Merrifield, and Duda from third to first, and Salvador Perez back behind home plate. Same lineup as yesterday for the Kansas City Royals.
And let's take a look at the umpiring crew here for tonight. Jim Reynolds will call balls and strikes. Mike DeMiro over at first. Chad Whitson at second. The crew chief, Mark Wegner, is over at third base here tonight for the second and final game of this series. Another nice reception for Lorenzo Cain. He got it last night. More of the same tonight. The good fans here appreciate what Cain did in helping the Royals to back-to-back World Series. Of course, won it all in 2015. Cain looks at a strike, and we are underway at Kauffman Stadium. Lorenzo Cain continues to get on base, drawing walks, 15 of them to lead this Brewers team. So last night, in addition to the home run, he had an infield single. So a very healthy batting average and a very, very healthy on-base percentage total of .421.
Top of the order doing a pretty good job in last night's game. Top 4. Doing most of the damage last night.
2 balls, 1 strike to Lorenzo Cain as we get started. An on-time beginning, which a couple hours ago seemed to be in question, but here we go, playing baseball here tonight in Kansas City.
A good slider from Jason Hamill. He's got a good one. He'll throw a few of them. He likes to throw his fastball, not overpowering. He's a big guy. He's 6'6", 220 pounds.
Year 2 of a 2-year deal with the Royals. Was 8-13 with Kansas City last year. And an ERA of better than 5. 5.29 was his earned run average last year. As he signed a free agent deal after being a part of the Chicago Cubs and their championship run, although Hamill was not a part of the rotation going into the postseason 2 years ago. He had a career high 15 wins in 2016, but got knocked around in his last few starts. And when Joe Madden had a rotation of John Lester and Kyle Hendricks, Jake Arrieta, and John Lackey, Hamill became the odd man out.
Yeah, you better pitch well when you got guys around you like that.
Kane will send one in the air to shallow right field. Jorge Soler will handle it for the first out of the ball game.
Now let's check out our Pizza Ranch for the win here tonight, here in the top of the first inning. Well, you're talking about Chassin. He's got to work on that pitch count. 6 innings, 102 pitches. He had a lot of pitches in the first inning. Try to avoid that. Well, with Eric Thames on a disabled list, Aguilar, Braun, 2 pretty good options over there at first base. The Brewers have depth at first, and the familiar foe, Jason Hamill, 10-2 against the Brewers, but he won his first 8, so the Brewers able to get to him his last 4 starts.
They did a couple of years ago when he was with the Cubs as Christian Yelich settles in. In fact, 2 years ago, Hamill's ERA against the Brewers was over 5. They were finally able to get to him.
Yeah. It was interesting to hear the soundbite from Craig Counsell regarding Thames and his injury, talking about G-Man Choi a possibility.
He was impressive in spring training, wasn't he? It seemed like every time he entered a ball game, be it as a starter or someone coming off the bench, and as the game was moving along, he'd make some good contact. And again, part of the depth that this team has in a variety of spots, first base specifically here.
Yeah, had a big pinch hit on opening day in San Diego, right? His first at bat off the bench. Got a double, ended up scoring the go-ahead run.
Yeah, method to it all. A lot of folks, I think, were surprised when Choi broke camp on the 25-man. There was a reason for that, and that thriller of an opening day win against the San Diego Padres. 2 balls, 1 strike to Christian Yelich. Well, it does speak to the depth, because with Eric Thames, you're talking about one of the top power hitters in the game, the top power hitter in the game in the month of April over the last 2 years. But Craig Counsell continues to lead his team through it all. They have had their share, more than their share, of injuries, but the depth has allowed them to overcome that to this point. Hoping for that storyline to continue as Yelich will draw a walk. So Hamill allowing the first base runner. A walk to Christian Yelich.
Yep, injuries to the pitching staff, to Yelich, first base now at Thames. Manny Pena on the DL. Arcia missed some time with a sprained ankle.
Good to see Arcia back in the lineup tonight. He hits 9th. The DH once again is Ryan Braun. Braun was on base throughout the course of last night's game. Couple of walks and a couple of singles. An infield single from Braun in the 3rd inning opened up the scoring, and it helped knock out last night's starter Ian Kennedy. So he took a hard liner right off the foot. Kennedy with a bruised foot. X-rays were negative, but he lasted but 3 innings in that game. Braun with some pretty good career numbers against Jason Hamill. His first crack at him tonight.
That batting average is good, and he's hit 4 homers against Hamill.
As you would imagine, he has by far the largest sample size of any of the current Brewers. 11 for 31 against the veteran starter. Brewers getting a 5-2 win last night. Zach Davies picking up his 2nd win of the year, and more terrific work out of the bullpen. Continuing their run of innings without allowing an earned run. Gave one up in the 8th inning on Sunday against the Marlins, but that was an unearned run. But they have been really on a hot stretch right now.
And it just seems like anybody he calls on, talking about Counsell, anybody he calls on in any type of situation, they've been able to get the job done.
1-1 pitch to Braun.
It's a nice luxury to have as a manager, to have confidence in every one of your guys down in the pen. The Brewers have added one. They've got Brandon Woodruff down there. He took the roster spot of Eric Thames.
Any reliever at any time, and that can vary game to game, appearance to appearance. We have seen that in the last couple of ball games with Jeremy Jeffress specifically. 1-2 pitch to Braun. Slider away. Let's see, there's Brandon Woodruff back up with the big club. It's part of the opening day roster for the Brew Crew.
The bullpen starts the game down in the dugout. on the road. Then after the top of the first, they all walk down there as a group.
2-2 to Braun. In the air to center field. John Jay drifting back. And that's out number 2.
If you're wondering why all the relievers are still in the dugout, you saw Matt Albers there as well.
That's right. They will get there, just not right away. Here's Travis Shaw, and here's one of the big blows of the game as he took Ian Kennedy deep. This was right after Braun's infield run-scoring single. A 3-run blast for Travis Shaw. And that gave the Brewers the lead that they never would relinquish what they put on the board in that 3rd inning. A 4-run third last night. And that was enough. 5 home runs on the year now for Travis Shaw. And here's a little pop-up. Alcides Escobar will squeeze it for out number 3. So a walk, and that's it for the Brew Crew in the 1st inning. Yolis Chassin stood in his last outing. Let's see what he has in store tonight. Bottom of the 1st inning, the relievers make the slow walk to the bullpen.
You see Taylor Williams, a guy with the least amount of time in the major leagues. He's responsible for the pink carry bag. Got all their treats in there. Get them through 9 innings.
Here's the Royals batting order presented by Potawatomi. John Jay at the top with Merrifield, as you see there, hits 2nd. Moustakas, Perez, Duda, Soler, Gordon, Cuthbert, and Escobar. Rounding out the Kansas City Royals batting order as Yolis Chassin begins Jay with a strike.
Yeah, very good his last time out. That was against the Marlins at home. He picked up a win, his 1st win of the season. Up overall, his 6th start, 418 earned run average. He pitched 6 scoreless innings against the Fish, 4 hits, no runs, 102 pitches. It's got to be more manageable of his pitch count here tonight.
There's a curveball that is sent in the direction of Jonathan Villar, and that's out number 1.
Well, the defense for the Crew here tonight. You got Yelich, you got Kane and Santana in the outfield. Same outfield as last night. You got Shaw. Good to see Orlando Arcia back in the lineup. Villar and Aguilar on the right side, and Manny Pena back-to-back starts after coming off the disabled list.
So they get a couple back. They lose Thames, but good to see Arcia back. That was scary a few nights ago in that series against Miami. As Whit Merrifield going after the first pitch, and he pops one up, and this will be Arcia ready to play it. 2 up, 2 down.
Chassin was very good with his fastball his last time out. He was a little bit more careful when he was throwing his slider. He's really had a difficult time getting the feel for the slider, so it was mainly fastball against Miami. Had a rough first inning, but settled down nicely after that.
And you mentioned his pitch count over 6 innings. He needed nearly 30 to get through the first. And caught a little rhythm. Had a couple of runners on base in the 6th inning. Got out of it. And then turned it over to the bullpen. Chacin begins Moustakas with a strike. Mike Moustakas had his hitting streak snapped last night. It ended at 14 games. And it's a liner right to Jesus Aguilar, and Chacin has a 3-up, 3-down first inning. We are through the first. No score in Kansas City.
Here in Kansas City, and come celebrate Cinco de Mayo at Miller Park on Saturday, May 5th. The Brewers host the Pirates, and fans who purchase a special Cinco de Mayo ticket package will take home a limited edition chorizo racing sausage bobble. Learn more at brewers.com/theme nights.
Second inning here at Kauffman Stadium as Domingo Santana will lead things off. Domingo showing signs of breaking out of a slump. Had a hitless stretch going, but last night had a couple of singles in 4 at-bats.
A couple of line drives to right field for Santana. Always a good sign for any hitter.
Figured it was just a matter of time. Big year for Domingo last year. A ball, a strike. What you're talking about last night, going opposite field.
Yeah, pitches away, and he beats the shift. The ground ball on the right, and then another pitch away. This one up in the zone and hits it hard into right field. Good signs for Domingo.
Hamill with a 1-2. Start number 16 for Hamill in his career against the Milwaukee Brewers. 2-2 pitch.
That's a pretty good late breaking slider, although he hasn't been able to throw it for strikes yet. Well, he hasn't gotten that pitch close enough to get a swing and a miss.
Hamill walked Christian Yelich in the first inning. No damage was done to him, though. Full count to Santana leading off the second inning for Milwaukee. And this will carry out a play. I mentioned getaway day. From here, the Brewers move on to Chicago, a 4-game series with the Cubs. Starting tomorrow night, Cubs are finishing a quick interleague series in Cleveland tonight. Night game tomorrow, and then day games Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Stop number 2 on this season's first three-city road trip from Chicago. It's on to Cincinnati.
Yeah, both of the first two series against the Cubs are 4-gamers, kind of unusual.
Right at Miller Park. That first homestand of the year. Santana battling here, extending the at-bat against Jason Hamill. Well, it was an exciting series at Miller Park. Included a walk-off win for the Brew Crew, and Orlando Arcia single to drive home the winning run. Santana continues to just get a piece. Salvador Perez, his second game back in there last night as he recovered from the knee injury that occurred just before the regular season, carrying some luggage and had a misstep on some stairs.
Didn't take him long to get back at it last night. Big home run.
Yep. 3-2 pitch again. Santana, Aguilar, and Pena for the Brewers in the second inning. Eleventh pitch of this at bat coming up from Jason Hamill. And that takes care of Domingo Santana. First strikeout of the night for Hamill, out number one.
Yeah, two-seamer with some pretty good movement. It had the plate. It was right down the middle, but down around the knees. That's some pretty good movement. Throw it down the middle when you keep it down there with that kind of movement. Get a lot of ground balls.
Here is Jesus Aguilar. And Ryan Braun now. G-Man Choi perhaps could factor in, but maybe looking at the primary first baseman for the foreseeable future with Eric Thames out. Aguilar, to say the least, is swinging a hot bat.
And he certainly deserves consideration, at least given an opportunity to play over there on a regular basis. See how it works out.
First home run of the year came Saturday night against Miami, and it won the game for the Brew Crew. A lot of home runs that were game changers last season at Colorado and St. Louis against the Yankees in New York. His first game ender on Saturday night.
Has a good idea at the plate. He understands, what the pitcher is going to try to do to him. He will shorten up with 2 strikes. He did that with the big home run to right field to end the game the other night. He understands he doesn't have to overswing to hit the ball out of the ballpark. Pretty big fella.
Big and strong. It was a bouncing ball to Mike Moustakas. And that's the second out of the inning. Moustakas back in the fold. Free agent venture for him did not go as planned. Ended up taking much less than what I think most thought he would end up getting. Signing a 1-year deal for about $6.5. 2 outs, bases empty for Manny Pena. Back in the lineup last night. His return from the calf injury. So he and Jet Bandy now will go back to sharing the duties. Jacob Nottingham back at AAA Colorado Springs. And another opportunity for Moustakas. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Hamill and the Kansas City Royals. We are through an inning and 1/2. No score in KC.
Bad news for the Brewers as Eric Thames was placed on the 10-day disabled list. He has a torn UCL ligament in his left thumb. That was an injury he suffered in the 8th inning last night. Jesus Aguilar came in to finish the game for him. And the corresponding move, Brandon Woodruff recalled from the bullpen. You see the move there, AAA Colorado Springs. Woodruff is here with the team and available out of the bullpen. But really the impact for manager Craig Counsell with losing Thames for what they're anticipating could be 6 to 8 weeks. He'll likely need surgery. That'll be determined tomorrow when he goes to Milwaukee to see the team physician, Dr. William Rosh. But Counsell said really the biggest impact is just losing that left-handed bat. Obviously, Thames off to another terrific start in April with his 7 home runs, and Counsell really liked the balance that he had in his lineup, being able to put 3 lefties in there, and Yelich, Shaw, and Thames against right-handers. So he says certainly it's going to be a different look, but he said first base is a place where we felt we had great depth. Now we're testing that. So Jesus Aguilar will primarily play first base now. Ryan Braun will continue to be an option. And Counsell said that Ji-Man Choi could also be part of the conversation down the road. So certainly a big blow for the Brewers, but they do expect Thames back in probably 2 months or so.
Yeah, thanks, Sophia. It's always interesting. You know, the talk was how many first basemen can you carry? How many outfielders can you carry? Well, it's good that they have a few. They have options. Here's Lucas Duda with a fly ball out to Santana, and Chacin getting a couple of fly balls, one from Salvador Perez, one from Lucas Duda. There are 2 men out.
Everybody wondering how Craig Counsell is going to get all these guys at bats, playing time. Well, that doesn't really apply anymore. I mean, a couple of injuries and all of a sudden you're kind of short again, you know. So Craig Counsell understands that. David Stearns and the organization did a really good job protecting the depth, making sure that they didn't send anybody down that they may have lost and needed later on. So that's not an easy chore. They maneuvered through that pretty nicely at the end of spring training.
They really did. Here is Jorge Soler. He walked last night, barely missed a home run. He hammered one that ended up hooking just foul down the left field line. It was off Zach Davies. Former Chicago Cub, second year now with the Royals. Soler, a part of that championship season for Joe Maddon's club. A ball, a strike.
Well, good to see the ball to strike ratio for our Chacin so far tonight.
And a wave and a miss on a good breaking ball from Chacin.
Yeah, late breaker. He said it really wasn't a good pitch for him his last time out. Relied heavily on the fastball. We'll see if he's able to get better feel for the slider tonight. Get it close enough to get swings with 2 strikes.
2-2 pitch. And he went, and it's a quick inning for Ulysses Chacin. He has set down the first 6 Royals, and we are through 2 innings of scoreless baseball. VR with a good night at the plate last night, Rock, getting 3 hits for the Brew Crew.
And doing a good job with 2 strikes. 2 of the 3 hits came with 2 strikes. And then later in the game, 6th inning, a nice bunt for a base hit. Gets it by the pitcher. And once it got by the pitcher, no chance to get him at first base. So VR continues to keep that batting average up. Coming in tonight at 300.
And attacks the first pitch. Lucas Duda with the feed to Hamill. 1 pitch, 1 out. Both Hamill and Chassin off to very sharp starts to this ball game.
And both of them showing pretty good movement with the fastball. Going down, getting ground ball outs. Both teams' hitters attacking early in the count.
Here's Orlando Arcia. Well, you go back to Saturday night when he took a big turn on a single and then went hard back into the bag. Turned that right ankle of his. It was scary, and especially for him, Arcia broke that ankle 6 years ago and was putting next to no weight on it as he left the field. But as it turned out, he ended up walking out of the clubhouse, and it's a quick return. And thankfully so for Orlando Arcia.
Yeah, he would be a tough guy to replace. I mean, his defense, the plays he makes out there.
He had a spectacular catch on a little pop-up, or a fly really, in a shallow left field. He went out there and covered a ton of ground. Made a very impressive over-the-shoulder catch. A couple innings later, everything kind of changed. Very concerned about his health, but right back in there tonight. 2-1 pitch from Hamill. In the air to center field. Lots of room for John Jay. And there's the second out of the inning.
Man, you don't expect the baseball to carry very well tonight. I mean, it's very humid. The humidity's up with the rain, and you've got the cold temperatures. And this is a pretty fair ballpark. It used to be a lot deeper in the outfield than it is now.
Here's Lorenzo Cain. Yeah, about 20 degrees cooler at first pitch tonight as opposed to last night. Rained most of the day, and finally around 6:30 it backed off, and they were able to get the tarp off the field and get this game started on time. Cain hit a fly to right field to begin the game tonight.
It is amazing that when we came to the ballpark, everybody around here said it was going to stop at 6:30, and it did.
How about that? Accurate forecasting going on here in Kansas City. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. And the last thing the Royals need is another rainout or another postponement. Since the beginning of the season, they've had 12 days off. I mean, how do you get any kind of continuity or any routine going?
Yeah, which has been an issue with this team. Just 5-16 on the year, and that is hard off of Hamill. Escobar is there, and he will make the play. But for the second straight night, the Royals starting pitcher takes one hard off the leg. Well, it seems like Hamill's okay as he and Cain can smile. And it turns into a 1-2-3 inning, and we're through 2 1/2. No score. Draft is live on Fox. Join Troy Aikman and Joel Klatt in Dallas for all the big selections starting tomorrow through Friday, live on Fox and NFL Network. All those quarterbacks, where are they going to go? Who's going first? Who wants Baker Mayfield? Who wants Sam Darnold? We'll have to find out those answers tomorrow night. Alex Gordon, first pitch swinging a fly ball out to Domingo Santana. And that is out number one. Talk about efficiency. Chacin, this very early stage, has been all about that tonight.
Well, again, I mean, the Royals really attacking early, and that has allowed him to keep that pitch count down. That's one of the things we talked about, in the first inning. Got to manage that pitch count better. He's certainly done it.
Remember, he needed 27 to get through the first inning in his last start. Here's Chesler Cuthbert. DH once again hitting eighth, which, as we learned last night, Rock, is
very
not
common.
all that uncommon.
Very
right?
common.
At least this year.
Right. Oh, was it yesterday? 17 times that a designated hitter was inserted in the number 8 spot in the batting order.
Shohei Ohtani, how many? By 6, 7, maybe? 6, yep. Ball 2 strikes to Cuthbert. If he is in the lineup, other than a DH, be a corner infielder. Get some work at first as the year goes along. With Moustakas back in the fold here for another year in Kansas City. That is strike 3 called. Second strikeout, both looking from Chacin tonight.
Yeah, big curveball and ends up catching the inside corner. You can see the reaction for Chacin. He doesn't want it there, but it worked out nicely, didn't it? Manny Pena setting up on the outside corner. Look where it ends up. Rings him up.
Two up, two down for Yolis Chacin. As he will now face the shortstop, Alcides Escobar. And he attacks the first pitch. Hit back into center field. And Lorenzo Cain well short of the track, and yet another very quick inning for Chacin, who has retired the first 9 he has faced. Reminding you to please play responsibly. By Ascension, coming together to give healthcare a better name. We are Ascension. And by Pepsi, this is the Pepsi for your crew. Aren't those fountains beautiful, Rock?
They are. Aesthetically pleasing.
Yes, sir. Beautiful
kind
ballpark.
of a calming influence, don't they?
Absolutely.
Other things they do to you.
Beautiful ballpark. Kauffman Stadium. Ballpark opened back in 1973, was known as Royal Stadium then. Christian Yelich leads things off here in the 4th inning.
This place used to have AstroTurf, and it was awfully hot. Day games, middle of the summer here in Kansas City.
Tough weather here today, so this is a rather lightly attended Wednesday night tussle here, Rock. But 50-some degrees and, you know, drizzle throughout the day.
Yeah.
The Hardy fans are here tonight.
But at least they are able to get it in, right? I mean,
Yes, sir.
you know, they were able to start on time. Last thing either one of these teams is a rain delay or even a postponement. They have been racking up in a big way this early part of the season.
Ball a strike to Christian Yelich.
Brewers very fortunate they have not been involved in any postponements. Well, they're supposed to be decent in Chicago this weekend.
Yeah, they have avoided it. The Royals still have a couple of games they need to make up. They're going to have a 5-game series. Yeah, you heard it right. A 5-game series coming up with the White Sox. You think about the White Sox and the Twins. You know, they lost a whole series at Target Field with the snowstorm. 3 balls, 1 strike. It's Yelich, Braun, and Shaw for Milwaukee in the 4th inning. And Christian Yelich draws his 2nd walk of the night.
And not biting on that 2-seamer. Hamill's trying to get him to chase on that outer half of the plate. Ends up missing, and a couple of walks. Much different situation for Hamill than Chacin. Chacin's just pounding the strike zone. Royals attacking early. Hamill already with 48 pitches.
He's given up the 2 walks. Neither team with a hit through the first 3. Here's Ryan Braun. Braun hit a fly to John Jay in center, his first at bat tonight. Average low for Braun, but the RBI total leads this Brewers team. He has 15 of them. And he shortens up.
Did he get him? Nope.
Offered up a strike.
Looking to bunt, and Hamill came up and in on him.
Hamill had the opportunity to enter free agency. Signed a 2-year deal with the Royals. There's a bouncing ball. That's a fair ball. Moustakas the throw to Merrifield. Everybody's safe.
That could be a base hit. I don't think Moustakas would have had a play on Braun. He was way down the line. And good jump by Christian Yelich at first base. Even if they catch it at second, he's safe. A good secondary lead. Moustakas might have had a play at first. See how they score it. Going to give him a hit.
And that is the first hit of the night. A little something going here for the Brew Crew in the 4th inning. A walk to Yelich. Infield single for Braun. Yet another infield single for the Brewers. Had a few of them last night. Here's Travis Shaw. Home run number 5 of the year for Shaw last night.
There you go, 25 of them. I think a lot of that a function of 2-strike approach. Instead of the big swing and miss, put it in play, give yourself a chance.
That was one of the themes in spring training, right? Darnell Coles and the guys working on that throughout the course of the Cactus League.
Shorten up, maybe choke up a little bit. See that with Jonathan VR quite a bit.
A bit of that Joey Votto approach from VR. 2 strikes and nothing to Shaw. And that's hit hard and down the line. A fair ball into the right field corner. Yelich rounding third. Here comes Braun. He'll be held at third as Travis Shaw with a run-scoring double, and the Brewers take a 1-0 lead.
Yep, on an 0-2 pitch, Hamill went down and in on him. We know that's a no-no against Travis Shaw. He likes the ball down and in like that. It looked like a slider. He wanted to get down in the dirt. Check it out. Left it up a little bit, and it's just a hot zone for Travis Shaw, down and in. Just able to tuck it inside that right field line. Brewers on the board first.
The first three reaching for Milwaukee. Second time through now. They are starting to get a read on Jason Hamill. Here is Domingo Santana. And there's a fly ball into right field. Soler is there. He'll drop the ball. Braun's coming in. Everybody's safe. Runners at the corners as Jorge Soler just flat out dropped it. It has been that kind of a start to the season for Ned Yost and the Kansas City Royals.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, he was thinking about his throw into home plate. I don't think he had a chance anyway. He just catch it and fire it in. Travis Shaw was going to be able to get to third base. He just forgets all about catching the baseball, thinking about the throw, never had it in the glove. That'll be a sacrifice fly for Domingo Santana and an E9. So no at bat for Santana, RBI, but an error on Soler.
And it's a 2-0 lead, still nobody out as Jesus Aguilar steps to the plate. Yeah, we talk about moments of this season. The Brewers have had a lot of thrilling moments. That 13-pitch at bat. As impressive an at bat as perhaps we have seen with Milwaukee in this opening month. Grounded to third his first time up tonight. Perez has to go down and get it. A ball, a strike to Aguilar.
It has a way of being able to find the barrel of the bat on a baseball. I mean, we've seen that quite a bit. I mean, he's one of the top hitters in the league when you talk about exit velocity per hit. He always seems to be able to barrel it up, no matter where the pitch is.
Shaw, the runner at third. Domingo Santana at first. Hamill with the 1-1. Big cut. Five RBIs now for Aguilar. When he has been in the starting lineup, he has had three-hit games already this season. This is start number 6 for him tonight. The 1-2. Walk to Yelich, infield single from Braun, run scoring double from Shaw, a sac fly and an error on the right fielder Jorge Soler. That's how the first 4 have fared against Jason Hamill. 2-2 pitch. Aguilar with a fly ball into left center field. John Jay going back, and that's plenty deep enough to get Shaw home. Santana tagging as well, and he'll get the second. Another sacrifice fly, and it's a 3-0 lead for the Brewers.
Man, a real good job by Aguilar. He was down in the count and able to get the fly ball deep enough to score the run. So the Brewers take advantage of the error in right field and played another. What you're talking about with Aguilar, he might not always get the hit, but always finds a way to get it done. That was a good at bat.
RBI number 6 for Jesus Aguilar. And a runner in scoring position now for Manny Pena. Ground out from Pena in the second inning. Mentioned last night the connection between these two organizations. Remember, Pena, his big league career began as a Royal, just a handful of games. Breakout year with the Brew Crew last year. Sharply hit off the glove of Moustakas, and Pena will reach. Santana moves to third.
And that's got to be a base hit. Moustakas able to knock it down. That kept Santana from scoring. Yeah, but Manny Pena hit that one hard. Look like another breaking ball from Hamill. A one hopper off the glove. As that slider stayed middle in, Moustakas got a hop, but able to knock it down. Saved a run for the time being. That was a tough backhand play, right off his wrist.
Third hit of the inning for the Brewers, 2 of them of the infield variety. A RBI double from Travis Shaw. It all started with a walk and then the error on Jorge Soler. Here's Jonathan Villar. Santana at third, Pena the runner at first. And a bouncing ball, Merrifield. The play will be at first as another run is in. Productive out for Villar as Santana scores. And it's a 4-run 4th inning for Milwaukee.
A heck of a jump by Santana right there. Big secondary lead. The high chopper, he took off right away and played at run number 4 for the Brewers. 4 in the 4th. Infield in, a high chopper, and really no chance for Merrifield because Santana got a great jump.
Now Orlando Arcia with Pena at second. Arcia hit a fly ball to center in the 3rd inning. The Brewers had a 4-run 3rd inning last night, a 4-run 4th here tonight, and they're not done. A 1-0 to Arcia. We mentioned at the top Hamill with those outstanding career numbers against the Brewers, but the more recent history, and you go back 2 years ago, the Brewers they were able to knock him around a little bit. He split his 4 decisions against Milwaukee in his final year as a Cub in 2016.
Yeah, the numbers against the Brewers a lot better before those last 4 starts.
(10-2) in his career. ERA a shade over 3. 2-1 pitch. We talk about Arcia's work with the glove, batting average still trying to get that back up there, but 3 game-winning RBIs already this season for the Brewers. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Driving up that pitch count here for Jason Hamill, already 67 now.
And bullpen for Kansas City, which was pretty good last night, but overall they've had a tough start to the season. You got to figure they're going to be involved in this game a little bit too early for Ned Yost's liking.
And that was the case last night. Ian Kennedy had to leave after 3 innings.
And keep in mind, I mean, Jason Hamill threw 9 innings against Detroit in a no decision. Royals lost in the 10th.
Yost has watched his team lose 16 of its first 21 games. That included a 9-game slide. They split their last series before coming back home. Payoff pitch on the way to Arcia. Rolls one over to Moustakas, and that will end the inning. But a good inning it was for the Milwaukee Brewers as they score 4 times. And we move to the bottom of the 4th, 4-0 Brewers.
on fourth, and it's a 4-0 lead for the Brewers here at Kauffman Stadium. And Jhoulys Chassin is coming off of his first win of the season Friday night against the Marlins. 6 shutout innings with 5 strikeouts. He told me the key to that outing, he said he really just got a command of his fastball back. He said he was able to use that pitch for a lot of first pitch strikes. He was able to work in his slider off of that. And coming into that outing, he felt that the ball was just leaking way too much over the middle of the plate, so he feels that was an adjustment he was able to correct. And certainly he's done that here tonight. He needed just 20 pitches to get through the first time through the lineup.
And Jay will lift a fly ball, hit back into deep center field, but room for Lorenzo Cain at the track. Out number 1.
Yeah, you could tell tonight. I mean, he has really good feel for the fastball, putting it pretty much where he wants it. John Jay gave that one a ride, but familiar surroundings for Lorenzo Cain. He knows that warning track pretty well.
One up, one down in the fourth for Whit Merrifield. The Royals with a plan to attack early. Chassin setting him down. He's gone through the first 10 now. And only a couple of dozen pitches. Merrifield a fly ball to right. Drifting over is Domingo Santana for out number 2.
You talk about efficiency with a fastball, and Chassin feels as though he found it last time. So far tonight, 10 of 11 first pitch strikes. I mean, that makes your job a little bit easier. You're trying to get outs. 10 of 11.
A lot of fly ball outs here, including 2 here in the 4th inning. Here's Mike Moustakas. He lined out to first. Ended the first inning. Moustakas represents the power really in this Kansas City batting order. He has 6 home runs. He's driven in 17. Big year for Moustakas last year. Comeback player of the year in the American League. A 38 homer season.
Figure as the season goes on, you're going to get some power out of Perez and Duda. Those guys can pack some punch at the plate.
Duda had 30 homers last year with the Mets and Rays. And Moustakas a drive deep into right field, and it is gone. There's the power from Mike Moustakas, and it's a 4-1 ball game. The only question was whether it would stay fair. It did. First hit, first run of the night for Kansas City.
Oh, you always talk about it. Down and in, very dangerous to a left-handed hitter. Check it out. Watch where it ends up. It was down out over the plate. And Moustakas gives it a ride right down the line. Just inside the right field foul pole.
Here's Salvador Perez. He homered last night off Zach Davies. Four-time Gold Glove winner Salvador Perez. His run of winning that award was stopped by Martin Maldonado last season. 1-strike pitch in the air to center. Cain has it tracked, and that'll do it for Kansas City in the 4th inning. But the Royals get on the board. A solo shot from Mike Moustakas. We are through 4 with the Brewers leading Kansas City 4-1. Fifth inning, Lorenzo Cain will lead things off. He had a lot to his day yesterday. News conference, his old buddy Salvador Perez interrupting the news conference, but the love shown to Cain was very evident. Fun to watch last night.
Yeah. Yeah, they loved him here in Kansas City. Why wouldn't it? Then he back legs one out into right field. Got one up in that wind last night and knocked it out of the ballpark.
And enjoyed it. Always has fun out there. Leaves it all out there as well.
Yeah, he does.
Looking for his first hit tonight, a fly ball and a ground ball.
Yeah, he earns that post-game meal every night. Plays hard.
Third inning, hit one sharply, went off of Jason Hamill's leg. Alcides Escobar was able to field it. Goes into the books as a 1-6-3 put out of Cain. 4-run fourth for Milwaukee. Royals getting a solo homer from Mike Moustakas in the bottom of the fourth. Two-one pitch. This with a fastball. Well, the Royals signed him, and it was an unfortunate set of circumstances that led to it. They had the tragic death of Yordano Ventura, a gifted young pitcher, as Cain will lift a fly ball into right field. Room for Soler. He'll put it away for out number one.
Hey, on Sunday, May 6th, the first 20,000 fans in attendance for the Brewers game against the Pirates will take home a retro lightweight Brewers hoodie. Secure your seats at brewers.com. Can't have enough Brewers garb.
Got that right.
Yeah, lightweight hoodie.
Been thinking that'll come in handy here for a while yet.
Yeah.
Warming up a little bit.
That would be the day after Cinco de Mayo. May 6th.
Thanks for clarifying that. That's good. I was kind of wondering why earlier you read Cinco de Mayo, May 5th.
Yeah, well, you get the chorizo bobble on May 5th, and then you get the hoodie on May 6th.
It's a good weekend for you. Here's Christian Yelich. He's walked a couple of times. On base percentage .429 right now for Yelich. Scored the first run of the game in the last inning.
This won't bite, will he? Out of the strike zone. Very rarely, every now and again. Takes very close pitches, but most of the time they're out of the zone.
2 balls, 1 strike. Yelich with a fly ball to left field. Alex Gordon. 2 men out. Another chance here for Ryan Braun. Fly ball to center and an infield single. Neither team had a hit through the first 3 innings. Both sides breaking through in the 4th. Indians lead the Cubs in the 7th inning. 3-1. Cubbies took the first game last night. 1 strike pitch to Braun. And there's a base hit. Second hit of the night for Braun, and the 4th of the game for Milwaukee.
He's had a lot of success against Jason Hamill, but he's had a lot of at bats. No surprises between those two guys. It's all about location for Hamill. That down and in, Braun able to get the bat head out and hit it hard into left center. That's a nice swing.
He is heating up, Ryan Braun. Travis Shaw has the one extra base hit for the Brewers, a run scoring double in the fourth. Now up to 14 RBIs for the third baseman. Good numbers all across for Shaw here in this first month. (1-0) to Travis. Sent over to Merrifield, and that'll do it for the Brewers here in the fifth. 2-out single for Braun. He is left stranded. We are halfway through with the Brewers leading the Royals 4-1.
The 2016 World Series, and a look at Francisco Lindor hitting a home run off of John Lester in the sixth inning. That's Lindor's third homer of the season. The Indians currently lead that game 3-1.
All right, Sophia, thanks. Brewers will see the Indians here soon. Part of the interleague swing for Milwaukee against the AL Central. We'll see the Cubs beginning tomorrow night. Lucas Duda leads things off here for the Royals. Duda, Soler, and Alex Gordon against Yolis Chassin. Needed all of 30 pitches to get through the first 4 innings as the Royals continue in attack mode. They have just one hit. The one hit, a big fly from Moustakas in the fourth. And there's a comebacker. Chassin right there, and that's the first out of the inning.
Fastballs with really good movement. Left-handers are a little bit out in front. Right-handers beating it into the ground. Hasn't thrown too many sliders. He's thrown a handful, but mostly getting a lot of mileage out of that two-seamer.
Here's Soler. Took a called third strike. That ended the second inning. Chassin drops a breaking ball in there for strike one. Chassin went 6 in his last start against the Marlins. 4-hit shutout ball, walked 3, struck out 5. Had one start against the Royals last year while with the Padres. That was a win for Chassin at Petco Park. Strong outing, 7 innings, gave up just a couple of runs. 1 up, 1 down in his career against Kansas City. The breaking ball is fouled back.
Got away with that one. That was a hanger. Soler not happy with himself. That was a pitch to hit. See the look on Chassin's face, and I can't believe he didn't hit that.
Got away with it.
Yeah. A spinner up in his zone.
Soler has 1 homer this season. Very nearly hit his second last night. 2-2 pitch. Got him. Caught him looking in the second. They get him swinging here in the 5th for out number 2.
Yeah, slider off the plate. Yep, he hung a slider the pitch before. Soler missed it, and then he put one right on the outer half of the plate, actually off the plate, to get him to swing and miss. Good pitch.
Now Alex Gordon. Fly ball to right in the 3rd inning. Five-time Gold Glover Alex Gordon. It's Orlando Arcia out there in the grass in shallow right field. And trying to poke one away from the shift, and Gordon does. A base hit. Second hit of the night for the Royals.
Yeah, the Brewers have been working him inside very effectively, and the 2 hits that he's had in this series, one last night and that one right there, both pitches away from him. He handles that pitch extremely well. Check it out. See where it ends up and away. Breaking pitch, and missed his spot, and Shaw not able to get there.
Gordon, the 2-out base runner for the Royals, as Cuthbert steps to the plate. He was caught looking in the 3rd inning. A couple of years ago, he hit .274, did Cuthbert. Played in 128 games. There's a snap throw from Pena. Picked off 6 last year. Got to be careful if you're on any base with Manny Pena behind the plate.
And you're playing first base, you better be alive too. He's liable to throw at any time, and they're all aware of it. All the Brewers first basemen. Look how quickly he gets rid of it. Perfect throw in the bag, and a good tag by Aguilar.
2 balls, no strikes to Cheslor Cuthbert. Chassin has yet to walk a man. The first double-digit inning in terms of pitch count tonight for Ulysses Chassin. Rio on the way. And that's a 4-pitch walk. So after retiring Duda and Soler, the Royals get back-to-back base runners. A single from Gordon, a walk to Cuthbert. And now Alcides Escobar to the plate. Hitting at the bottom of the order these days, their championship season, he led off. And it really defied a lot of the numbers. He was not an on-base guy. He's never been one to walk a lot. His on-base percentage was a shade less than 300, but Ned Yost just liked the chemistry of the lineup. Hard to argue with it because they all got nice rings.
Yeah, it was working, right? Forget the numbers sometimes.
And Pena with a throw down to second, and VR unable to hang on. Otherwise, the inning's over.
You got to catch it first. He had him dead to rights out there at second base. Just catch it, and he's out. And look at the big secondary lead, and he is out by a mile. All you got to do is catch it. Yep.
Break for Alex Gordon. 1 strike and nothing to Escobar. In the air, shallow right field. Coming on is Santana. And the inning is over. The Royals strand a pair. We're through 5 with the Brewers leading 4-1.
Brewers with a 4-1 lead. Time now for our UW Whitewater Warhawks scouting report, checking in on the Brewers minor leaguers. In Double-A for the Biloxi Shuckers, Jake Gatewood, third baseman, had a great day yesterday. 1 for 4, a homer, 2 RBIs, and over his last 6 games, he's really heating up. He's got 8 hits on the week, a .333 average, the 2 homers, a triple, and 7 RBIs. He's in the top 20 prospects for the Brewers, according to MLB Pipeline.
All right, Sophia, thanks. Yeah, the Brewers really believe that the system very, very strong, even when you had to give up 4 of your top prospects, including your top overall and Lewis Brinson, to get Christian Yelich, but they still believe it is very, very strong.
Yeah, a lot of depth in the minor leagues. That's why you make that deal any day of the week to get Yelich.
Domingo Santana with a ground ball to Mike Moustakas, and that's out number 1 here in the 6th.
It was funny when the Marlins were in town and Brinson hit those 2 home runs in the first game. Yelich said he'd never even seen him play, went up to Craig Counsell and said that was a bad deal you guys made. Craig, of course, disagreed. He says we'll take who we got.
He was laughing, though. He's going after the second one. He goes, I wonder what Yelich is thinking right now.
Good stuff.
That was fun. Here's Jesus Aguilar. Sacrifice fly his last trip to the plate, part of a 4-run 4th inning for Milwaukee. Hamill settling back in. In that 4-run inning, the Brewers had a double, a couple of infield singles, a walk, and a sac fly on top of that, an error charged to Jorge Soler.
Yeah, they did get some help, but you got to, credit the Brewers offense for taking advantage of the mistakes. Leadoff walks, that's never a good sign for any pitcher. Then the E9, cost Kansas City an extra run. If they're going to give it to you, you got to take it.
Yeah, Brewers getting this offense without the long ball. Such a big part of the offense for Milwaukee. It certainly was last year, and in stretches this year. Very important again. So yeah, it's good to see them score in some different ways. Hamill ready with a 2-2 pitch, and Aguilar with a liner in Merrifield. Part of the shift makes the catch for out number 2.
Yeah, picked that one right off the ground, the slider. And once again, able to barrel up that pitch. When you see this pitch on the replay, you're going to see, how does this guy get the barrel of the bat on it? He does. Good play by Merrifield. That ball down and away, 84, out of the strike zone. Gets the barrel on it, and because of the shift, he's robbed of a base hit.
Makes Jason Hamill a happy man. 2 outs, bases empty for Manny Pena. Join the infield hit parade in the 4th inning. One strike pitch. Second game back for Pena. Now the 1-1.
And Hamill's pitch count's getting up there. 92 pitches. We're working here in the 6th. He threw 9 innings his last time out against Detroit and needed only 102 pitches. He was on the top of his game his last time out.
2-1 to Pena. Interesting to see how long Yost goes with them with the bullpen. Even with last night's effective work for Kansas City out of the pen, it remains last in the American League in earned run average. It is more than 7.
Yeah, they looked good last night.
They did. 3 good innings out of Birch Smith, followed by Tim Hill and the former Brewer Blaine Boyer. 2-2. And slowly hit toward third. Charging Moustakas, and the throw is in time. Good play by Moustakas over at third. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Jason Hamill. Brewers want to take a look just to make sure. And it looks like they're going to go ahead and play through.
August 5th. You can enjoy a silent auction and, of course, bowling with Brewers players while raising money for children and families living with epilepsy. To register, you can visit www.brewers.com/bowling, and you can also call 414-902-4581.
All right, Sophia, thank you very much. Brewers do great work throughout the community, Milwaukee, across the state of Wisconsin. Another example right there. Top of the order for the Royals here in the 6th. John Jay. He sent Lorenzo Cain to the warning track in the 4th inning. Lee Chassin has allowed but 2 hits through the first 5. Home run from Mike Moustakas, a single from Alex Gordon. Breaking ball is fouled away. 2 strikes and nothing to Jay. Pitch count in excellent shape for Chassin. 50th offering of the night coming up right now. Jay, a career 300 hitter against the Brewers. Talking last night, you would have thought better than that even. He gets on base a lot, as throughout his career, mostly with the Cardinals. Time with the Padres, last year with the Cubs.
It's just not one way to pitch him either. You got to mix it up. I mean, he's really not going to be a guy that, and you cross your fingers when you say this, hurts you too bad with a home run. He just has a way of putting the bat on the baseball.
A 1-2, puts it in play here. VR, and tried to flip it to Arcia. That was his only chance, but Jay reaches, and the Royals have their leadoff man aboard for the first time tonight.
Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about. A 2-strike pitch, not a bad pitch by Chassin, but Jay would get a bat on it and get himself an infield hit. Yeah, VR gets there, but realizes his momentum going away from first base, his only chance is to give it to Arcia, but that's not going to work.
So it's hit number 3 for Kansas City. Whit Merrifield at the plate. Worked a long time to get to the big leagues, did Merrifield. 29 years old, draft pick back in 2010. 9th round selection, played his college ball at South Carolina. 7 years he was in the minor leagues. Broke through a couple of years ago. Played in 81 games for the Royals, and then last year, perhaps his breakout season, hit .288, homered 19 times, and led the American League with 34 stolen bases. There's a base hit to right field. Jay motors around second, and the Royals have something going in the bottom of the 6th.
Well, he had a little bit of a rally going with 2 outs last inning. Chassin able to get out of it. Now the first 2 up, and the meat of the order coming up for Kansas City. That one ended up right down the middle of the plate, 91. And Merrifield inside outs it into right. And the tying run comes to the plate.
And the tying run is Mike Moustakas, as Dan Jennings, who worked out of the bullpen last night for the Brewers, gave Counsell an inning, giving up nothing. He's getting ready again tonight. Moustakas at the first hit of the game for the Royals. Came with 2 outs in the 4th. A solo homer to right. Chassin had to wiggle out of a little trouble in the 5th inning after retiring the first 2 hitters. Alex Gordon singled. Cheslor Cuthbert walked, but he got Alcides Escobar to hit a fly ball to right. And Moustakas hacking away.
Yeah, Brewers would be very happy to trade 2 outs for a run here. Playing the infield back. Got the shift on.
Moustakas will be followed by Salvador Perez. Here's the 0-1.
Moustakas hit a pitch that was down out over the plate, down the right field line. Try to avoid that spot.
Brewers would love to turn double play number 24. 1-1 pitch. In the air, shallow right field. And Santana the catch, and Jay goes nowhere. Not challenging the arm of Santana. That's out number 1.
Yeah, good pitch. Pulled the string a little bit, had him out in front of it. And now get your double play ball. Good candidate at the plate. Yeah, breaking pitch. That's what he hit out of the ballpark last time, but better location. That was more in. And Moustakas pops it up.
One out for Salvador Perez. A couple of fly balls off of his bat tonight. 1 to left and 1 to center. He was 1 for 4 last night. The 1 being a home run.
You got to wonder if Merrifield might think about trying to steal a base here or stay out of the double play.
Runner holds, and a wave and a miss from Perez. 1-1 the count. Infield single from John Jay. With Merrifield a single to right. Chassin with a 1-1. Breaking ball ahead in the count now.
And pulled his head twice. I mean, looking to pull the baseball. Well located breaking balls. Wants the front shoulder. That thing goes, and you've got him as long as you keep it away.
Chassin with 3 strikeouts so far tonight. Ready with a 1-2. Good take by Perez. Not chasing. Chassin picked up his first win as a Brewer against the Marlins. The 2-2. Merrifield's running, and Merrifield will get second. And that does in fact take him out of the double play.
They tried to come inside on him. They thought they had him set up inside, but they missed badly on the inside corner. Chassin really not paying much attention to him. Takes him out of the double play. That's a big stolen base.
Work to do here for Chassin. Trying to put away Perez. Lucas Duda is on deck. Payoff pitch on the way. Ground ball. Arcia. They'll try to get Whit Merrifield hung up, and they do. Jay will score. Whit Merrifield trying to advance on a ground ball to the left side. He's erased. It's a 4-2 game. There are 2 men out.
Yeah, that's just brutal base running. I mean, there's no way you go to third base on that. I mean, Merrifield did a good job getting to second. Very well would have been a double play ball had he not stolen the bag, but this is just bad base running. That breaking pitch up. And this is a good job by Arcia to get the easy out at third base.
Thank you very much.
That's base running 101. You just can't do that. Those are the kind of things the Royals have been doing.
And we will have a pitching change here in Kansas City. Good night's work from Jhoulys Chassin. He leaves with his team leading the Royals 4-2. Once again, effective. You talk about efficiency. Check it out. 64 pitches required over 5 2/3 innings.
Yeah, good stuff. And I guarantee he's talking about that pitch he threw to Merrifield. He left it right down the middle of the plate. That 2-seam fastball was so effective for him, but made that mistake. Ends up with a pretty good outing, and now it's up to Dan Jennings to finish off the 6th. Good work out of Jennings. 13th appearance. He pitched in last night's ball game. Once again, looked good.
And it's lefty versus lefty as Jennings will face Lucas Duda, the first baseman. We talked about this Brewers bullpen. 24 2/3 consecutive innings without allowing an earned run. Give up a run in the 8th inning Sunday against the Marlins, but that was unearned. It has just been electric, and now Jennings will try to close out this 6th inning.
Yeah, that's an impressive statistic, but for me, I mean, the most impressive statistic is keeping the other pitchers' runners from scoring. The inherited runners, they've been doing just as good a job at that.
Yeah, they have. They've given up in this stretch just 8 hits, 5 walks. 2-0 the count to Duda. Duda tonight is it a fly ball to right. Get a comebacker to Chacin. Dangerous hitter in Lucas Duda with Arcia now out on the grass in shallow right field. Here's the 3-0. Jennings, one of 5 relievers for the Brewers with an ERA of less than 2. Jeffress, Hader, Barnes, and Albers also with an ERA less than 2. The 3-1. Snapped up by Aguilar. And Dan Jennings will leave Perez stranded at first. Royals pick up a run. Brewers up 2 as we move to the 7th.
In today's time of the game winner, Jackson's Blue Ribbon Pub in Elm Grove. If they call the Brewers by 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, they get 40 tickets to a Friday night game in the Miller Lite Beer Pen. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin, Matt, and Miller Lite.
There you go. As always,
Jackson's Blue Ribbon Pub.
Elm Grove, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
A couple extra layers needed tonight. Brewer fans all bundled up here on a 50-degree night. 7th inning we go. Jonathan VR will lead things off.
I'll tell you, Hamill's been pretty good tonight except for the 4th inning. Leadoff walk and air, infield hits.
Yeah, just 1 extra base hit tonight for the Brewers. RBI double from Travis Shaw, part of that 4-run inning. VR, a 3-hit night last night. There's an RBI tonight. Ground out to second. Pitch count on the edge of 100 now for Hamill.
Activity down in that Royals bullpen, both double barrel action, lefty and righty.
Two-one pitch coming to VR. Eric Stouts, Brad Keller getting loose for Kansas City. 3-1 to VR. And there's a base hit. He had 3 of them last night. First hit of this game for Jonathan VR.
That base hit, an RBI for Jonathan. And good speed at first to start the 7th. Brewers have only been able to get their leadoff hitter aboard one other time. That was the 4th, a walk to Yelich.
The scoring inning, the only scoring inning for the Brewers. See what they do this time around. Here's Arcia. Fly ball and a ground ball from Orlando tonight as he returns to the lineup. Ankle injury where a lot of folks were fearing the worst, and it turned out to be minor. Just a couple of days. The off day Monday was a help.
And given the history, I think it scared him more than anything when it happened.
VR is holding, and the pitch is taken by Arcia. Hamill was getting a lot of first pitch strikes early on tonight. It leveled off for him, especially in that 4th inning. VR is running, and Arcia with a fly ball hit back into right field. Soler near the corner runs it down. Out number 1.
Yeah, it looked like Jonathan had it stolen at second base. Arcia had a good pitch to hit. He attacked it, but popped it up.
One away in the 7th. Ed Yost has watched his team play from behind most of this season. It's happening once again tonight. Here's Lorenzo Cain. Cain hitless in 3 trips. 2 fly balls and a ground ball. Reached 4 times last night. A couple of walks, infield single, and a solo homer. Right side of the infield wide open for Cain.
And Cain not afraid to go that way. This would be a perfect hit and run thing. If you ever see those anymore, you just don't, do you?
No, you really don't. Runner holds. 1-1 to Cain. I mentioned the walks last night. He has drawn 15 of them. Remember, he's hit mostly 3rd in the batting order in his career. Settling in at the top of the order here for Milwaukee.
And you don't adjust based on where you're hitting in the batting order. I mean, you are who you are. You can't try to be something different just because you're in a different spot. It's up to the manager to put you in a spot that is conducive to your style. And the on-base percentage is certainly good enough for Cain to be able to lead off.
2 balls, 1 strike. VR bluffs as though he'll run as Cain takes strike 2 call. VR has stolen 4 bases. He's been caught once. Hamill ready with the 2-2 pitch. VR is on the move as Cain shoots 1 foul. Brewers can manufacture a run here or stretch this lead out a bit more. They scored the first 4 of the game. Stock got him on the board with a solo homer in the 4th. Kansas City with another run in the 6th. Again, the 2-2. Kane extending the at bat. '35-year-old Jason Hamill. VR is holding and a little tapper. The play is at first. That is out number 2 as VR moves to second.
Let's see if that's going to be it for Jason Hamill. You got Yelich coming up. You got a left-hander in the bullpen. Yep, here comes Ned Yost.
And the lefty warming up was Eric Stout. And Yost will make a move. Well, you mentioned it. Hamill was pretty sharp tonight. Brewers got to him in the 4th, and right now that's the difference in the game. Now he makes the call as he wants the left-hander. Buying a little time before he makes the move as the night ends for Hamill. We have a break in the action. 2 outs, runner in scoring position in the 7th with the Brewers leading the Royals 4-2. Lights, great taste at only 96 calories. And by Toyota, let's go places. More fountains, Rod. More fountain shots.
Gotta love it.
Absolutely. Very calming effect here. 4-2 Brewers lead the Royals as Christian Yelich will step to the plate. New pitcher on here for Kansas City. Ned Yost wants a lefty to face Yelich, and now Eric Stout has the call.
Major League debut for Stout. And they called him up yesterday. Justin Grimm was placed on the DL. His numbers down in the minor leagues. 5 games, 470 earned run average for Eric Stout.
Jonathan VR, the runner at second. Brewers looking for a tack-on run here in the top of the 7th inning. Yelich has walked twice. He is flying out to left. And Yelich down the line, and that will curl foul.
Yeah, outfield pretty shallow for Yelich at the plate, with the left-hander on the mound. Good speed at second.
This is the night at the plate presented by Wendy's. Mentioned what Yelich has done tonight. Walked in the 1st, walked and scored in the 4th inning. For the fly ball to left in the 5th. Stout appeared in 45 games with the Storm Chasers last year, all but one out of the bullpen. Pitched to a sub-3 earned run average. Debut in a big spot here for the Royals. Two strikes and nothing to Christian Yelich, and he got him swinging. That's a good debut for Eric Stout as he fans Yelich, and the Brewers strand VR at second. Stretch time in Kansas City. Brewers up by 2.
At Bat app, the official app of the Brewers. With At Bat, you get breaking news, live radio broadcast, and lineup updates sent right to your fingertips. Download At Bat today, free for your smartphone or tablet.
I get you excited. You get wound up on
At
that
Bat,
one.
I'm telling you, I have it on every game. Yes, sir. It does. It's exciting.
Here's Jacob Barnes now. He comes out of the bullpen for Craig Counsell.
Yeah, tossed a perfect 6th inning against the Marlins on Saturday. A couple of strikeouts. Yeah, Jacob has been unscored upon in 9 of 10 appearances this year, and each of his last 5 have been scoreless innings or scoreless outings. Earned run average at 138.
It'll be Soler, Gordon, and Cuthbert. Soler has twice gone down swinging here in this game. Chassin with the first 5 2/3. Stan Jennings finished up the 6th. Brewers bullpen will try to put up another 0 or 2 or 3 the rest of the way.
And just see how Craig Counsell wants to do it tonight. It's different every night. Who's going to get the multiple inning? Maybe it's Barnes, maybe Hader. We'll see.
2 strikes and nothing to Soler.
Nice to have that option, isn't it?
Oh,
you have just about everybody down in that pen can give you more than 1 inning.
Yeah, that's some uncommon versatility. Yeah, we're seeing it more and more in baseball, but Counsell has any number of options of guys who could give him more than 1.
And he's got an extra one down there tonight, Woodruff.
Balls, 2 strikes to Soler. There's Brandon Woodruff called up. Eric Thames put on the disabled list with the thumb injury. Some pretty good relievers sitting either side of him there with Jeffress and Josh Hader. Full count to Soler. Both of those guys, Hader and Jeffress, examples of Rock, what you're just talking about. You could see him in the 6th or 7th. You could see him in the 8th or 9th.
Yeah.
Payoff pitch coming to Soler. And that's not the way you want to start. A walk to Soler to begin the bottom of the 7th.
And Soler strikes out a lot, but he leads the team in walks. He's got 13 of them. Back-to-back innings for Kansas City with their leadoff hitter on.
Royals picked up a run in the 6th. Here's Alex Gordon. Punched one away from the shift in the 5th inning. He was 2 for 4 last night. Barnes, when he needs to, can rear back and bring it up there hard. That good cutter to go with it. Gordon also just coming off the DL last night. We've talked about Salvador Perez. There's a ground ball charging VR, and they'll get the lead runner on the flip to Arcia for out number 1.
Little risky on the backhand flip right there.
Rarely dull with Jonathan VR.
Yeah, right. He was coming in hard to get that ground ball, but able to get on the backhand, and Arcia able to grab it. That's a dangerous throw. Actually, that's not even a throw. That's just kind of a shovel.
One away here in the 7th inning. Here's Cheslor Cuthbert. Took a called 3rd strike, and he's also walked. Since their championship season, the Royals have been a .500 team, right around there the last couple of years. 11 under coming into tonight's game. Suffered some walk-off losses, but their run differential at the moment is -49.
Well, yeah. A lot of injuries to the offense, and bullpen has really been hit hard.
The 1-0 to Cuthbert. Barnes, another one of those Brewers relievers who comes into the game with an ERA of less than 2.
Cutter's been exceptional so far this year.
Runner at first is Alex Gordon. Break-even pitch. Ground ball to Shaw. Chance to get 2. There's VR. The turn. Double play. Around the horn they go as the Brewers turn another one. And we'll head to the 8th inning with Milwaukee leading 4-2. Talladega for the Geico 500. Get ready for all the fast-paced, heart-thumping action from the Super Speedway starting at 12:30 Central on Fox, or stream it live on Fox Sports Go. Ryan Braun will lead off here for the Brewers in the 8th inning. Braun, Shaw, and Santana. 4-2 lead for Milwaukee. Braun with a couple of hits tonight. Eric Stout remains out there on the mound in his big league debut for the Royals. Ed Yost not afraid to put a young pitcher out there. The 25-year-old came in with Jonathan Villar at second. His debut, Stout struck out Christian Yelich. Impressive.
Yeah, good opportunity for him. I mean, the bullpen's been struggling. Ned Yost is just trying to find somebody to get some outs.
His bullpen was pretty good last night. See if the Brewers can get to it tonight. Jason Hamill went 6 2/3. Rough inning for him was the 4th. Brewers scored all of their runs.
And back-to-back nights for the Brewers. Big innings. 3-run inning last night, 4-run tonight.
Here's the 1-2. Braun rips one down the line over the outstretched glove of Moustakas. It'll be a 3-hit night for Ryan Braun, and this time it's a double.
And breaking pitch has stayed up in the zone, and Ryan Braun not going to miss too many of those. Boy, he loves left-handed pitchers. 4th double of the year, and the Brewers get their leadoff hitter on again. Yep, that's not going to get it done against Brawny. 83 slider up in his eyes, and he rips it down the line. Brewers could use an insurance run here.
Great chance for it now as Travis Shaw steps to the plate. RBI double from Travis tonight. And there's a ground ball to the right side. Nice stop by Duda. And the feed to Stout for out number 1. That's a good play. Braun, though, is able to move to 3rd.
Yeah, best part of that play was the throw to Stout. He had to get rid of it quickly, and he threw a strike. He had to put something on it. And Stout able to get it and tag the bag. Good play. In the meantime, Ryan Braun able to get to 3rd base. This is a good throw, good catch. They get the out.
A 1 out with Braun at 3rd for Domingo Santana. Sacrifice fly from Santana, part of that 4-run 4th inning. Infield is in for Kansas City. Four runs, 6 hits for the Brewers. 2 runs, 4 hits, 1 error for the Royals. 1-1. Santana with a couple of hits last night. And a hitter's count right now.
Looks like they're being very careful, maybe trying to set up a double play. A couple of pitches way off the outside corner. Be selective here.
Jesus Aguilar is on deck. And Santana draws the walk. So runners at the corners.
They're trying to get him to chase. He didn't.
Jesus Aguilar now with an opportunity.
Kind of surprised that the Royals don't have a right-hander up in their bullpen.
Pen is quiet right now.
Stout's inning. Or at least it appears to be. Why the long face? See the horse head back there? That keep you warm. There you go.
Yeah, I'll go with that look tonight. Aguilar takes a strike.
You just got to wonder what his options were, or her. I'm not sure.
Nobody around reacting in any way.
Oh. I've been sitting there all night.
That's right. Well, it's kind of family and close friends only night at the ballpark.
Yeah.
Here. 2 strikes and nothing to Jesus Aguilar. Juan led off this inning with a double. Shaw a grounder to first. Santana a walk. Eric Stout ready with a 1-2, and Aguilar is going to dump one in, a base hit to right center field. Braun will score. Moving to third is Santana, and it's a 5-2 lead for Milwaukee.
Yeah, is anybody surprised about that? A 2-strike base hit for Aguilar. Ain't just something else. He just finds a way to get the barrel of the bat on the baseball, and there's a big hit. Yeah, the Brewers able to extend their lead. There's some insurance. Fastball in, pulls the hands in, and dumps it into center. Nice short stroke by Aguilar. There's our Badger Mutual Insurance run of the game.
Well, the bullpen ended up getting some quick work, and it looks like Ned Yost is going to go to it, and in fact he will, as the Brewers now have a 3-run lead. Pitching change. Brad Keller coming on. Brewers up 5-2.
You can check out the complete series schedule, which includes half-price tickets for kids and seniors on Wednesday. Check it out at brewers.com/tickets.
Lindor and the Indians winning tonight. Beat the Cubs 4-1. Brad Keller now on the mound for the Royals. Brewers with a run across, looking for more. Just one out here in the 8th. The debut season for Keller. Top 10 prospect in this Royals organization coming into the year. Pena with a fly ball out to right field and shallow. Soler coming on, and that's out number 2.
And Keller able to get in on the hands of Manny right there. Well, Keller has allowed 5 of 8 inherited runners to score so far this year. That's a lot. He's got 2 out there right now.
Part of the bullpen trouble for the Royals. There's Jonathan VR. Singled his last time up. Keller spent all of last year in Double-A. Reds actually took him in the Rule 5 draft and traded him to the Royals. Was originally an 8th round selection by the Diamondbacks 5 years ago. A ball, a strike to VR. Santana at third, Aguilar at first. Aguilar with a run scoring single here in the 8th. '97 of the fastball from Keller, but he missed. Out of Flowery Branch, Georgia, 22-year-old Brad Keller. VR with a bouncer to Escobar, bobbles it, and no play. VR reaches, Santana scores. And another miscue for the Royals defense, and the Brewers now have a 4-run lead.
Yeah, Royals kicking it around tonight. It's cost them 2 runs already. Another run in from Milwaukee. Now they got a 4-run lead. I'm not sure that he had to do that. I think he had time to come around that baseball and get the force at second base. He might not have been able to get VR, but you played in front and you get the out at second.
This is a team that came into the game having committed 14 errors, 2 more added tonight. Brewers now have a 6-2 lead for Orlando Arcia.
The Brewers have really done a good job tonight taking advantage of mistakes by Kansas City. Walks, errors, bad base running.
Yeah, it has not been about the long ball for Milwaukee. A good fastball from Keller to even the count. Arcia, a couple of fly balls and a grounder to third. 1-1 pitch.
Yeah, but again, Jesus Aguilar in the middle of a lot of action, both the 4th and the 8th. Sac fly in the 8th, big base hit here in this inning.
He continues to produce. In the lineup tonight with Eric Thames out with the thumb injury. Arcia hits this sharply. Merrifield will make the play, and that'll do it for Milwaukee in the 8th. But Jesus Aguilar helping trigger a 2-run inning for the Milwaukee Brewers. This RBI knock helping along the way. It's 6-2 Brewers in the 8th.
Stadium. Coming up on Brewers Live postgame, brought to you by Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin. A big 4-run fourth for the Brewers, started by third baseman Travis Shaw with an RBI double. Jesus Aguilar and Jonathan Villar would drive in runs in that inning as well. Ryan Braun with a 3-hit night, and we'll get reaction from manager Craig Counsell inside the Brewers clubhouse. That's coming up on Brewers Live postgame with Dario Melendez and Jerry Augustine.
Yes, sir, and hopefully talking about this winning streak that continues, but still some ground to cover. Jacob Barnes continues on the mound for the Brewers. He'll face Alcides Escobar, followed by John Jay and Whit Merrifield. Barnes, second man out of the bullpen tonight. Dan Jennings finished off inning number 6. Escobar, a couple of fly balls tonight, one to center, one to right. 4 hits for Kansas City. They had 6 hits, a couple of runs last night. 1-1 pitch. Just with that cutter. Escobar committing an error in the top half of this inning. Gold Glover in 2015.
You don't see him kick too many. Had good soft hands, a backhand play, and just couldn't hold it in the glove, and the Brewers benefited.
31 years old now. That trade the Brewers made back in 2010. Zach Greinke trade. And that is a base hit for Escobar into left. Taking a big turn, thinking 2 all the way. He'll get it. A double for Alcides Escobar to begin the 8th.
And left that one up in the zone a little bit. Escobar able to get a bat on it. And normally keeps that cutter down and away, and very difficult to hit, let alone pull down the left field line. And not when you leave him up.
5th hit of the night for the Royals. There's John Jay. Single was an infield single. Jay, a swing and a miss. Little blow by from Barnes at 95. Royals again getting their leadoff man aboard.
And 3 straight innings.
A ball, a strike to the Kansas City center fielder. Good block by Pena.
Yeah, not an easy pitch to block either. That cutter spiked it in the dirt.
Two balls, 1 strike. Brewers bullpen is quiet. Escobar a leadoff double. Here's the 2-1. There's a liner. Arcia goes off his glove and into center field. Escobar moves to third, and the Royals have runners at the corners with nobody out.
Yeah, I thought maybe he timed his leap perfectly, but right off the end of the glove. Well, the Royals getting pretty good swings on the Jacob Barnes cutter. He timed his leap perfectly, just not able to get high enough. And John Jay with a good piece of hitting. There's that guy again, John Jay, right in the middle of action. Back-to-back at bats with hits.
Well, the Brewers bullpen quiet no more. little stirring going on down there now. We'll have a Mount conference in the meantime.
Josh Hader getting loose.
A threat now for Kansas City. 6th inning, the first 2 reach. Rock mentioned 3rd straight now that the leadoff man is aboard. There's 2 runs Milwaukee scored at the top of this inning, looking bigger and bigger.
Yeah. I'm just trying to right the ship out there for Jacob Barnes and give Josh Hader some time to get loose. Things can happen very quickly in this game, and one more base runner, and all of a sudden Kansas City has a tying run at the plate.
Let's check out what's on tap, presented by Miller Lite. 4-game series with the Cubs starts tomorrow. Chase Anderson, Kyle Hendricks, your pitching matchup. Brewers Live will get us started at 6:30 here on Fox Sports Wisconsin. A double from Escobar, a single from Jay. Whit Merrifield at the plate. He singled his last at bat of the 6th inning. Goes after the first pitch and pops it up. VR takes charge, and that's the first out here in the 8th.
Well, you gotta love that. Couple of men on, rally going, first pitch out, pop up.
Now Mike Moustakas. His 7th homer of the year tonight. That was in the 4th inning. Solo shot off Yolis Chassin. Craig Counsell's going to want to go lefty-lefty. Well, the first 2 reach off Barnes. He gets a pop-up from Whit Merrifield. His night will be done, as Counsell again will go to the bullpen and bring on Josh Hader with 1 out in the 8th. The Brewers lead the Kansas City Royals 6-2. Central only on FS1. It's both provocative and interesting.
Yeah.
There you go. Cowherd and Whitlock. All right, time for a little Haderade here as Craig Counsell goes to Josh Hader. Runners at the corners, 1 out of the 8th.
Yeah, picked up save number 3 did Josh Hader on Sunday against the Marlins. 2 innings, 3 punch outs. And each of his 3 saves have been the 2-inning variety.
He will face Mike Moustakas. Hader slings one but misses.
And Brewers are not holding John Jay on at first base. Trying to cover as much ground as they can with the left-handed hitter up.
100 points difference, lefties versus right-handed pitchers for Moustakas as this goes hard off the mask of the umpire.
Yeah, look out.
Wow, Jim Reynolds feeling that.
A direct hit. Shoulder.
Yeah, I thought it was a mask, but the pop is the shoulder there.
And Manny Pena went out to talk to Hader just to give the home plate umpire a minute. No visit.
A ball, a strike. Escobar at third, Jay at first. A 1-1 to Moustakas. That's nasty from Hader.
And the old equalizer. He's gotten more confidence in that pitch now than he had last year. Here it is, 1-1. Slider away. Good luck.
Hader with a 1-2. He again has to go down and get it.
Put that pitch down there. You're going to be okay. But what lefties are waiting for is for Hader to hang it. He hadn't done much of that with that slider.
Two balls, two strikes. Stock is hanging tough. Last year's comeback player of the year. Season 2 years ago ended in May in an outfield collision with Alex Gordon. Knee injury. Big year last year for the third baseman. Hader trying to put him away, and he does. With a big strikeout. 2 gone in the 8th.
Yeah, got him with the fastball, a couple of sliders, and then back-to-back heaters. 94 miles an hour for Hader on the outside corner. Well, it was supposed to be in, but with Hader, he misses by pretty much the entire width of the plate and still gets his strikeout.
2 outs, 2 on. Hader will work against Salvador Perez. And that is down the line, but foul. Perez, a couple of fly balls. RBI ground out in the 6th. Escobar making his 355th consecutive start. Started this inning with a double. He's at third. Jay the runner at first. Second game back for Salvador Perez. His splits.
They're pretty even batting average.
One of the more popular players this franchise has ever had. Another one of them wears a Brewers uniform now and plays center field. Here's the 1-1. That is yanked foul. Jumped on it, but got there early. A ball, 2 strikes. World Series MVP Salvador Perez in 2015. Josh Hader gets about 18 strikeouts per 9 innings. He has 1 punch out in the 8th. The 1-2.
Yeah, hanging right in there. He's made contact on all the pitches from Hader in this at bat. Mostly fastballs.
See what they dial up here. One more time, the 1-2. Fastball, strike three called. Josh Hader with back-to-back strikeouts. He gets Moustakas and catches Salvador Perez as the Royals strand runners at the corners. 6-2 as we move to the ninth. We move to the ninth inning here at Kauffman Stadium. Let's check out the Powerball home run leaderboard. Good news is Eric Thames showing the power again this month. Bad news is he's on the DL with a thumb injury. Ryan Braun, Travis Shaw next up with 5. And Lorenzo Cain has gone deep 3 times. He hit number 3 last night. Solo shot here against his former team. It will be the top of the order here for the Brew Crew, and a new pitcher on now for the Royals as Kevin McCarthy is on the mound.
Yeah, last appeared a couple of days ago at Detroit. Picked up his first victory on Sunday. His 6th appearance, a 1-0 record, 623 the earned run average. Gave up an unearned run in that appearance against the Tigers.
Lorenzo Cain has not reached tonight. We don't say that very often as a game gets late. Brewers 6 runs on 7 hits. And errorless baseball through the first 8. Royals have committed 2. McCarthy with a 2-0. Cain shoots one just foul. Good return for Lorenzo last night. Reaching 4 times. Now facing 26-year-old Kevin McCarthy. Split his time last year between the Royals and AAA Omaha. Two-two pitch. He leads this Brewers team, does Cain, with 15 walks. And now the 3-2. Cain, Yelich, and Braun here in the ninth for Milwaukee. Brewers with a couple of big runs in the 8th inning. And terrific work again by Josh Hader, stranding runners at the corners with back-to-back strikeouts.
Yeah, Brewers doing a real good job tonight of taking advantage of some mistakes by Kansas City.
And buffers up, and he is out number 1 here in the 9th.
And McCarthy, one of those guys. I mean, he's not a flamethrower, but he's got all kinds of different pitches. 2-seamer, 4-seamer, slider, changeup. He mixes it up.
Get a lot of ground balls when he's on. He'll face Christian Yelich here. He has drawn a couple of walks, has flied out and struck out. The Royals bullpen really not all bad here. Eric Stout charged with a couple of runs. Brad Keller inheriting, and a couple of runs coming across. Jason Hamill gave up 4 in 6 2/3. A 1 pitch. Brewers trying to win their 8th in a row. Had such a run 3 seasons ago.
And doing it in a lot of different ways. I mean, the one thing that's been very consistent has been the bullpen. Starting pitching, as we talked about when we came on the air tonight, bullpen's been good. Starters are starting to stretch it out a little bit. The defense has been good. Those are the things that stand the test of time. Offense comes and goes.
Yelich with a ground ball that slips through, a base hit. 8th hit of the night for Milwaukee, and the 1st for Yelich, but it's the 3rd time he's reached. Yeah, that Brewers defense you're talking about, they've tightened up the errors, but they're saving runs too. They're making some sparkling plays, just being very sound out there. Maybe the bigger story, we've seen this team make the highlight play, but they're handling the routine
Right,
without
giving
booting.
away outs.
Yep.
Turning outs into outs.
Right.
That's more important than the spectacular play.
Here's Ryan Braun, a 3-hit night for Braun. That's an old line in any sport. It isn't how many great plays, maybe, it's how many mistakes.
Right.
Doesn't matter if it's baseball or football, basketball, whatever. Infield single, a single to left center, and a double tonight for Braun.
He's got to average up to 267.
Bat started to come alive in that homestand. Wants a couple out of the ballpark. Oh, 0-2 the count with Yelich the runner at first. Four in the 4th, 2 in the 8th for Milwaukee. The Royals with single runs in the 4th and the 6th. A ball, 2 strikes to Ryan Braun. McCarthy missing with a slider.
You can just tell the way Braun's starting to take pitches off the plate, staying back. Not starting that back, checking his swing. He's seeing it better, staying back, seeing the baseball, and one of the reasons why he's starting to heat up a little bit.
Serving as the DH in this interleague series. The 2-2, Yelich is running. Braun with a chopper in the hole. Escobar, and the pick from Duda for out number 2. Yelich now in scoring position. 2 outs here in the 9th. Now Travis Shaw.
I would imagine Perez was out there talking to McCarthy about maybe No, be careful with this guy. You got a right-hander on deck.
See the night for Travis. And a hit taken away in the 8th inning. Good play by Lucas Duda. And a strike to Shaw.
Or maybe not.
Or just go right after him. Play with fire when you do that and see what happens. The 0-1. 5 homers for Shaw, number 5 last night. A cool night here in Kansas City. Rain most of the day. Stopped about an hour before first pitch. Shaw rolls one over. That's Merrifield, and that will do it for the Brewers in the 9th. A Yelich single is wasted. We move to the bottom of the 9th. Brewers 6, Royals 2. Last look at the fountains, perhaps here, Rock. Is it calming you down?
And
you
they look as beautiful now as they did in the first inning.
Just kind of mellows you, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. Very tranquil.
6-2 Brew Crew leading the Royals, bottom of the 9th inning. And Taylor Williams now on for Milwaukee.
Yeah, with a 4-run lead, Craig Counsell wants to minimize the pitches for Josh Hader. Maybe thinking about that series against the Cubs. Well, Williams has been terrific. 284 earned run average. And 12 strikeouts in 6 and a third innings. A hard throw with a good slider. Trying to get through the 9th.
And he will start out by facing Lucas Duda. He's hitless in 3 trips here tonight. Was 6 hits for the Royals. That was their total last night. Brewers winning 5-2. It's 6-2 here this evening.
It's such an easy delivery for Taylor Williams. Even after all the arm injuries he's had, that ball just flies out of his hand. Effortless delivery.
And it pops in there in the mid-90s and a tick higher at times. But yeah, 2 seasons were lost. Tommy John surgery. Trying to write a really nice story for himself. Two 1 pitch to Duda, and that is hit in the air to right field, and that is down. It's going to go to the fence. Duda on his way to second, and a double starts the 9th inning for the Royals.
They fell behind 2-1, and then Williams coming in with a fastball. This is due to his first hit of the game.
It's the fourth straight inning where the Royals have gotten their leadoff man on. Only a run to show for it through the first three. Scored in the sixth inning. Here's Jorge Soler. Couple of strikeouts and a walk. Brewers have gone with Jennings, Barnes, and Hader. Hader with back-to-back strikeouts. Royals left runners at first and third in the eighth inning, but Moustakas and Perez went down on strikes. Moustakas swinging, Perez looking. And a big cut from Soler.
Yeah, the Royals had first and third, nobody out in that eighth inning. Did not score.
Yeah, pop up from Whit Merrifield. Big chance for Kansas City to get right back in the game. A ball to strike to Jorge Soler. There's that slider in there from Taylor Williams.
Soler very vulnerable to that pitch, but you better get it down and away. You make a mistake, middle of the plate.
He is a powerful man. Homer 12 times last year. Actually, his last year with the Cubs he did. He homered 24 times in AAA last year, did Soler. Most of his season was with Omaha. 2-2 pitch coming. Taylor Williams flirting with some trouble here in the ninth inning.
Yeah, Soler all of a sudden later in the game not biting on that slider. Chacin had him chasing it. Rick Council might be thinking about getting Albers up. We'll see who it is.
A full count to Soler. Here comes the 3-2. And that's a called third strike. A punch out for Taylor Williams, out number one in the ninth.
Yeah, fastball at 97 miles an hour. Soler was banking on the fact that Williams wasn't going to throw him a strike. It looked like he was taken all the way. Right at the bottom of the strike zone. And he knew it.
One out in the ninth inning as Williams squares off against Alex Gordon. Fifth inning single tonight for the Kansas City left fielder. Last 2 years have been a major struggle at the plate for Gordon. He does have 3 hits in this series, 2 last night, 1 tonight. Williams will step off again. Getting organized with Manny Pena. Now the 1-0. It has to be, I would think, if you're a hitter, you know the portfolio, you know the scouting report, but you keep talking about it, Rock, the easy delivery, and then it pops in there at 96, 97. It just jumps on you.
Yeah, it gets on you quickly, hides it pretty well.
Two and one the count now to Gordon.
Can't get a feel for the slider.
Up on the 8th of the month from Colorado Springs. Called up when Yelich went on the disabled list. Here's the 2-1. He's going to want to have a chat with him.
And Craig Counsell doesn't want to have to go to another reliever here. 4-run lead. You want to have Williams finish this out. Nothing doing in that bullpen at this point.
Got a 4-game series with the Cubs coming up.
That'll change if this guy gets on.
Cheslor Cuthbert is on deck. Hitters count for Alex Gordon. And now a full count.
Situation where you just put it on the tee for Gordon here. If he hits it out, tip your hat. You just don't want to walk him.
Three balls, 2 strikes to the left fielder. And a ground ball into the shifts. There's Villar, and that is out number 2.
There you go. Coming back down 3-1. Got his man.
Well, the Brewers an out away from finishing this off. Duda on the ground ball moves over to third. That, by the way, is Mike Jersley, the third base coach, pride of Clintonville, Wisconsin. Great athlete in the state. Could have been a quarterback at Wisconsin. Baseball his route. A little shout out to him before hopefully the Brewers get set to wrap this one up. 0-1 the count to Cuthbert. There he is. Could have been, he was a standout baseball, football, basketball. Could have been a quarterback and a baseball player at Wisconsin, but a draft pick of the Texas Rangers in the late 70s. 37 years in the minor leagues. Ed Yost brought him on in 2014. Cuthbert hits this in the air, and this will carry out of play. 0-2 the count.
And they say players are in the minor leagues a long time. It's 7 years, huh?
Exactly.
Pay your dues. Finally get up here. Good for you.
Yeah, baseball lifer. First 2 years under Ned Yost, his team was in the World Series. Mike Jersley. 2 strikes and nothing to Cuthbert. At some point we were going to get that in, but Mike hasn't had a whole lot of traffic over there at third base, which is a good thing from the Brewers' perspective.
Well, let's put it this way. You waited as long as you could.
I did. Kind of had to half force feed that.
Any longer would have been a post-game hit.
That is force feeding info right there.
There you go.
2-strike pitch coming. He struck him out, and the Brewers win it. And the streak is now at 8 as the bullpen once again delivers. Solid start again from Yolis Chassin. And Rock, the Brew Crew taking advantage of some Royals mistakes, and they keep on winning.
Man, they're just winning. And second straight sweep for the Brewers, a 4-game sweep of the Miami Marlins. And then they come in here in Kansas City where they've had all kinds of problems in the past and take 2. Just a good series, good defense, good pitching, timely hitting. And let's head to Chicago.
Yes, sir.